You can get with this or you can get with that in fantasy football in 2025. Tonight in the Best Ball Basement, myself, Erik Beimfohr, and Rob Coakley, we're going to dive into this or that of our favorite fantasy football picks this year and some non-fantasy football stuff. The GOAT of basketball, some video games, everything there in between. We're going to dive into that. Maybe draft some best ball teams. We'll see. Let's do it. Yeah, Rob, I'm all triggered now. Even my audio is screwed up in my it's coming through all screwed up in my my AirPods. My mic is not working. This is typical. This is great content, as everyone knows. The audio listeners are like even more going to be even more triggered from all this. But we'll work through it. We're going to talk about some this or that, as Chris says. The title of this video should be "You Can Get With This" or "You Can Get With That." But I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of somewhat fantasy football focused idea and somewhat, our fun best ball basement idea of some different things. I put together some stuff. I'm sure we'll come up with some different ones over the course of the show. Do you prefer this or do you prefer that? Similar like concepts, right? We'll get into it and we'll talk about some of them. But was there anything that when I think I mentioned this to you this morning for the show, was there anything that you were like, this is the one thing I've been thinking about, like, do I do this or do I do that? Do I prefer one of these two things as it relates to this year in your drafts?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously thought of this through the best ball lens, but just to give an example of what we're doing and to make sure I understand, the first question I want to ask, this is the example question. This will not cause any controversy at all.
No chance.
Would you rather have summer for the rest of your life, or would you rather have winter for the rest of your life? So this or that is summer or winter. The other one disappears forever.
Summer.
No, the answer is winter.
Why is the answer winter? I need to
summer because summer is the absolute worst season of the four.
Interesting.
Seasons.
Why do you say that?
Because it's fucking miserable and I hate it. I hate the summer. I
hate the cold.
At least in the cold, I could go outside and layer up. In the summer, it's hot, it's sticky.
You can only take off so much clothing. Yeah. You can only
There's horse flies. Like, it's just a nightmare. Like, I will say that summer has like better activities.
Yeah.
But how often are you actually doing the summer activities? A few times during the summer, if you're lucky. Overall, miserable experience.
This is an interesting comment from someone in Canada. Confirms winter all day long. It's too hot. That is I did not expect someone from Canada to be doing isn't it in Canada you're like miserably cold all the time? Like, it gets so cold you can't leave your house. You would want more summer. That's shocking to me.
No, because you know what? You know why? Because I can't speak for the St. Louis area, but in the Northeast, at least, where our buildings aren't like our houses were never built with central air conditioning. Like, you have to have that put in.
Right.
Whereas like when I lived down south, the summer was terrible in Mississippi. Awful. But at least every house had central AC. So like there was some reprieve from it. And up here, I have central AC, but it's still not good enough. Like it still like struggles, right?
Really?
And yeah, well, I live on the third floor, right?
Oh yeah.
So like the third floor is hot. So it's just summer. I'm just miserable. I can't nap. Like I'm a big nap guy because I'm old.
Me too.
And because I work 12 hours a day on various projects.
I get tired every couple hours. So yes.
Yeah.
Post lunch, dude, I'm trying to get into better shape and I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. And part of it is like intermittent fasting, not even really because it's like some trend or whatever, but if I eat I'm an overeater. I'm a grazer, I'm an overeater, I'm all that kind of stuff. So I've been trying to condense down my eating times. But then obviously I eat a larger meal at that time. But even if I don't eat a large meal, it's like as soon as there's food in the stomach, it's like, brother, it's not like I'm useless. Like I'm like dude, just like eat a bowl of cereal in the morning, and I'd be like, what was I? I wake up and I'm ready to like attack the day. I got energy and all that, and then especially like get some coffee or whatever. If I get some food in me, I'm TKO'd, man. It's over. Like I can't do it, and I don't feel like I've always been that way. I think it's age.
Yeah, I work with people on occasion, and they'll be like, "Is it lunchtime?" And I'll just raise my eyebrow and go, "I don't know what that is, man." Like I'm like, if I eat lunch, I'm useless. So like I just push through. I'm like, let me just get my shit done. Let me work through it. Then I'll eat, then I'll nap, then I'll do another 6 to 8 hours of all the work that I want to do. But yeah, once I eat, it's a wrap. And that's the other problem. In the summer, I don't want to cook inside, like get all that extra heat in the house either.
That's fair. It's fair.
Just, I feel like there are higher highs in summer for like, again, activity stuff.
High upside, low floor. High upside, very low floor
very
in the
low
summer.
Floor.
But the median of the winter is great. I'm with you on that. I'm totally, the median projection of the winter is much higher. That's the winter is fucking Wandale Robinson of the seasons. No. Okay, you know what you're getting. Pop Douglas, Wandale Robinson. You're getting something that's useful. The summer could be Gabe Davis, who's out of the league in a couple of years, or it could be Malik Neighbors. You don't know what you're getting, but you're getting something like I said, it's very. I can actually speak to that because just this weekend in St. Louis, we're in the thick of the summer. It does suck going outside, but there's a lot of things you can do. Friday night went to the Cardinals game with a bunch of friends and had a great time. I mean, it was hot, but we had an awesome time. As it got later and as the beers went down, you stopped worrying about it being warm. Had a wonderful, wonderful evening. Yesterday, my niece, she's 6, or she just turned 6. She wanted to go. What do you want to do for your birthday? Because I told her, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm sick. We're not doing toy. We've done so many toys. Like she has more toys. We just had to take a bunch of her toys to give them away, right? Because she has 10 million toys. She doesn't need more toys. Like, let's go do something. What do you want to do? She wanted to go to the Cardinals game. So it happened to be yesterday we were going to do that. And the summer in St. Louis storm hits. The Cardinals the game was at 1:15 local time. The game finished at about 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock local time. We ended up not going. We did something else. We went to like a local version of like Dave and Buster's, essentially. And so we had just this weekend, both versions of that summer that you're talking about. Yesterday was like, it was hot, it was muggy, and it was stormy, right? Every 2 hours, the game got delayed. It took them 8 hours to play a baseball game. But on Friday, we had the good version. Like we had a good time. So that was the high upside, low floor version of the summer. Whereas the winter is just like, you kind of know what you're getting outside of. We get ice here. That's the problem. Is like you like physically can't leave the house for stretches of the winter. Yeah,
and winter. I feel like winter's gotten a bit better to deal with over the years too. I feel like we have less snowstorms in the Northeast. I've jinxed it for everyone this year.
Yeah,
I apologize for that. but yeah, I mean, just give me the winter. Give me the winter. Give me. Also, here's a hot take that no one else is gonna like.
Uh-oh.
I hate that the sun sets at 8 p.m. in the summer.
Really?
6 o'clock should be the time the sun sets. I don't want it to set at 4.
Well, yeah, I was about to say it sets at goddamn 4 o'clock in December here.
Yeah, I don't want that.
It's awful.
Well, I mean, this is why fall is the best season, and it's not even close.
That we can agree on.
Like
neither of these two are the correct answer to the best season. Neither of them. But if you have to choose one, I do think it's a fun debate because they both have very big cons. Specifically, the negatives to both are terrible.
Yeah, but fall is the best. Speaking of your area, I wanted to know, I should probably ask you this offline. How close are you to Lebanon, Illinois?
Very. The school I went to for the first 2 years, McKendree University, is in Lebanon, Illinois.
Oh,
That's where I
so
went. I went there. I
next
went there for 2 years.
my next hometown ghost stories episode focuses completely on McKendree.
No shit. Well, are you come? It's notably, I went to two schools who both claim to be the oldest college in Illinois. Both of the colleges that I went to. There's also other college. There's a big debate in Illinois. Apparently, there's not a lot of smart people in Illinois because they all think they were the first college, and I went to two of them, and there's several. There's several others. I have no idea what the truth is, but yeah, it's a stone's throw away from where I live now,
Oh, very cool.
Lebanon, and from my hometown. So you guys should have came out and investigated in person. You were not missing much, however. Lebanon, Illinois, small town. There ain't much there.
Yeah, but there's that, and there's the Mermaid House. So maybe you should jump on that episode with us. And
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Went there. Why did you guys just decide to randomly bury a Native American right in the middle of the?
Don't say we. Don't say we. I'm not from there. Don't say we. I happen to go to there's a nice. It is a nice college in that town, but it is a small town, and there is nothing but the college in that town. And I am not from there. It is an old. There's very few roads, but the main street is still an old brick road, and you can't drive that fast. You're down the main street of Lebanon. It's like one of their quirks or whatever. They're not going to replace the old brick road, and it's like, well, we all have to replace our tires very frequently because we drive down that road. It would be nice if you guys would repair it a little bit.
Yeah, that's St. Louis Road. See, I do.
Yes,
I
it is.
I do my research when I'm covering these towns. So yeah, I'm covering that town in either 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. So maybe if you're free, you should jump on. And since you've actually went there and you walked by that grave of the Native American just buried right on the school grounds.
It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. No one ever even talks about it or thinks about it. But it's just like a thing that everyone understands is a thing when you go there.
Did you know? We'll get off this, but did you know that a student was struck by lightning and died in 1938 in Bothwell Chapel?
I did not actually.
Yeah. So in 1938, a student was up there. He was harvesting bee honey, and there was a storm, and it struck the old Bothwell Chapel bell and deflected and killed him instantly. Now they since tore that down in 1959, I believe, and they rebuilt it, but it's the same bell and it's still Bothwell Chapel. But this is me teaching you about the school you went to.
I'm now learning and to be fair, I transferred, so that you can tell how much I cared. I was so invested in the school that I told him to fuck off after 2 years because I wanted to go to a different school. But it is a great school actually, and I have a lot of friends and even family that went there. So that's really funny. Let's do a couple off the rip because I have a bunch of football ones. If you had to choose one, let's do a this or that, one food, but for the rest of your life. One food, but for the rest of your life. Is it? I'll give you an open-ended opportunity because there's one that I think has to be on in this pizza because I think it's the goat food that everybody loves pizza, and there's also varieties of pizza. Right, you've also become accustomed to the Midwest breakfast pizza. I believe it was you that brought that up in the Discord, which is really not pizza. I mean, it's dough, but it's biscuits and gravy and shit on top of pizza. Or I'm going to leave this open to you as well: a sandwich. So bread around something. I'll leave that open to you: a pizza or a sandwich, but you can't. That's the only thing you can eat for the rest of your life. This or that.
I can't go off board. It has to be pizza or sandwich.
That's it. But that's a little bit open to interpretation. If you would like to spin it, the pizza can be a calzone. I'm open. The judge is open to that ruling. If a sandwich is a cheeseburger because it's something around, bread, or it's whatever. I'm open to your own interpretation, and I left it open-ended to that. But I thought that those were the two most all-encompassing kind of ways to frame something, and obviously they are very popular.
The other one that came to mind would have been like a salad, because there's so many variations of a salad that you can have as
If you
well.
picked a salad for the rest of your life to eat, we're fucking closing down this show.
But
Come
you
on.
can, but there's so
Okay,
many
you won't gain
variations of
weight.
salad.
Okay, you won't. You no longer gain weight. You no longer have like health. Like you are as healthy as you'll ever be, and there's no health impacts to this. You get to eat that for the rest of your life, and it's fine. Like this is whatever Pixar movie.
I think, God damn it, because I think it's a sandwich, but I don't want it to be.
I know you want it to be pizza.
I
think.
want it to be pizza, but I think it's a sandwich just because the variations are. I'm gonna go pizza because I think that as much as I get tired of sandwiches very quickly.
Yeah, same.
I bought sandwich meat today, and I'll have sandwiches for lunch probably for the rest of the week, and then I probably won't be able to have a sandwich for a month and a half, maybe. I think the right answer is probably sandwich, but on a personal level, it's pizza for me.
I totally agree with that. Exactly what you just said. I'm pretty sure that the correct answer is sandwich because of like Sizzle says, the variety is for sure but I also feel like Rick says, you really can do anything on a pizza. Now, there are things that we Americans have tried to do on pizza that's disrespectful to pizza. We've defaced what pizza was supposed to be, and at the end of the day, here's another one. This or that. Now this is cheating, but just like a straight cheese pizza, or is there a topping that you would do a straight cheese, or is there one individual topping? Are you similar to a sandwich, like you get sick of the toppings, and so you would choose just straight cheese because it's simple?
If I had to pick one topping,
Yeah, you can't do the variety of. It's not like cheese or toppings. It's like pepperoni or just cheese.
so because I'm on the South Shore of Massachusetts, where we have one of the top types of pizza in the country, I will say linguiça pizza is what I would have if I had to have one topping.
Would have taken me a while to get to that one if you made me guess.
There is really good linguiça pizza here. However, if it was New York style, if you get sausage pizza in New York and you get it from a really good place, it is incredible. Like next level for
I always get pepperoni in New York. I'm a pepperoni guy, but
I like pepperoni too. But if you ever go to New York and you actually go to if you seek out one of the top pizza places, I highly look for one that like specializes in like the sausage. And I'll tell you what, I was getting it last summer. I was working in New York, as you recall, like every other week for the most part. My Friday routine was going to Sal's, I believe it was called. I believe it was Sal's. I might be wrong. You guys can fact check me on that.
There's probably a Sal's. So like they can fact check you and they'll be like, I still don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
That's true.
I'm certain that there's a Sal's.
I don't remember the name of it. I'll look it up, but I was getting this sausage pizza and I would get like 2 of them and I would bring them home and I would give one to my mother. I'd bring one by my mom's house because she was watching my dog for me, and she looked forward to that more than anything because of how good the pizza was. And like just reheating pizza in the oven is so good too. Like, so yeah.
Interesting. Some people will say the opposite. If you look up stuff, that they'll be like, you got to do it on the stovetop, add a little water in there, cover it and stuff, like the waste, because it could get a little crunchy if you do it in the oven.
Yeah. I prefer it just heated up in the oven, like just get it a little crisp. We like them a little well done here in New England as well, so that makes it fine. I have not eaten Pinocchio's in Cambridge. Maybe I'll have to stop by there at some point next time I'm in the area, although I hate going to Boston. It is the worst. But maybe. And New Haven is amazing. I got New Haven a couple weeks back, and that pizza was phenomenal.
I also like New Haven style. St. Louis style is like New Haven adjacent. So we use our own like weird cheese and kind of crustish, but it's like they're like third cousins.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? It's like that. It's that kind of thing. Like it's definitely not New York. It's not New York. Like at all. That's not how we do pizza here. But let's dive into a few.
Well, are you pepperoni?
Yeah, I'd be pepperoni. I don't know what it is about pepperoni, and it doesn't make any sense. My last name is fucking Beimfohr. I'm about as German as it gets, and pepperoni is just like my go-to. I love pepperoni pizza and Italian sandwiches. And like, so the whole that conversation is very difficult for me because I can kind of I can have the things that I like the most in both categories. But I don't, is it blasphemy to say like I don't love cheese pizza? I need something on there to like, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but like I just need something like the cheese pizza just doesn't quite, it's just not enough. I don't feel satisfied.
Sometimes, well, most of the time I will order a cheese pizza the first time I go to a place. If it's a place that I plan on going to more than once, to see what their base is. Let me see what their base pizza is like, and then I'll build on that. And speaking of weird toppings, America is not the worst. Did you know that the English put corn on their
That's fucking disgusting.
pizza?
Dude, the English, like, and which is funny because Americans, kind of notably, not sure, people forget that Americans came from England, but it's crazy how bad the food preferences, and like just like if you go to like what do you eat in the UK, it's like everything other than fish and chips, which I do very much enjoy, like fish and chips. Other than that, everything I'm like, this is a delicacy here. That's fucking disgusting. Like what? Like what? I've never really heard them talk about something like I'm a big Tom Holland fan. Tom Holland and Zendaya are like awesome, so I get recommended a ton of like clips on Instagram and stuff from them. And every time he talks about food, I'm like, what? Excuse me? Like, how is that like what you? And he's like, always like English food, so good. And I'm like, everything he describes sounds like actually like I'm not even interested in it. Yeah. Not just like I wouldn't, like, oh, it's not as good as pizza. Like, no, like that sounds gross. Yeah. Like I'd rather eat a fucking hot dog than the stuff he's talking about.
We're talking about going to England next year, and I'm excited for that trip. Not excited for the food.
Not for the food. Yeah, it's for like the everything else. It's
for everything else. But the food, I'm like, we'll just get through it. I guess we'll just figure it out.
I hope you like fish and chips, brother, because they make a good fish and chips, and you're just gonna eat that at every pub on the corner.
See, but I don't know if they're gonna make a better fish and chips than New England. Like that's the thing.
Okay, let's not be that American about it. They have to at least be. It has to be at least be on par. It's what they do,
buddy. Have you come to New England and had seafood?
Yes.
It's like one of our better things.
I know, but fish and chips is like that's not real seafood. I mean, obviously it is real seafood, but you know what I mean. Like that's base level. It's fried fish and chips. Like it's not that big of a deal. That's what they. I've never been to London. I've never been. So I don't know. I can't speak to it. I guess we'll find out. You'll have to let us know when you get.
Yeah, I'll update the food channel and Discord as
RGT. We're cretins because we don't think London food is awesome. I'll go to my grave with that one. Yeah, I've never been. So this another typical American thing is I'm an expert on English food, even though I've never been there and never had it. But I will say everything that's been discussed right to me on the internet when they talk about it, I'm like, that's your delicate, like that's the like what's your one thing you got to have when you go home, right, to an English person who doesn't live there anymore. They're like, I got to have this, and I'm like, nope, that doesn't do it. That doesn't do it for me at all. So we'll find out. Lots of pies. Yeah. Boiled kidneys. Boiled kidneys. That's the first, and that's it. The conversation is over. Pie nailed it. I'm like, that's it. That's like, it's like, soup. Like right when we talk about like soup, and you were talking about salad, I'm like, sure, that sounds fine, but like that's not. If I'm on my deathbed, that's not what I'm asking for, basically.
Yeah, well, that deathbed is different, right? So let's just expand on this and then we can get off of this topic, but let's narrow it down to one dish. If you had to eat one dish for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This is like the most difficult question. Honest to God, I think this is the most difficult question on earth. Is there more, there's more difficult questions in terms of like, would you save your child or your wife or whatever, but that's just mean.
Yeah.
In terms of like real, like unserious questions, I don't know, dude. So my biggest, easily my biggest like thing I crave the most, and maybe it's because I've like I try to start like not starve myself of it, but I know how bad I am with it. Is like anything like potato, like from a potato, French fries, a baked potato, like literally anything with the potato, I'll eat it. Right, potato chips, like those are all. I'll sit here and eat a whole goddamn bag of potato chips in one setting, not think twice about it. When we go somewhere, I'm like, I'm getting French fries. It's like we go to a nice place. Like you go to a nice, I am that guy. You go to a nice place, I'm like, I want a steak and a baked potato. Can I get a side of fries too? Like I'm that guy. Like, can I get a side of fries too? So I'm gonna say like French fries are probably my favorite thing, but also it could be like it's any variation of like tater tots are great. Like baked potatoes are great. Mashed potatoes are great. Like anything around a potato is easily my biggest vice. So I feel like I have to say that because I can't. I like a cheeseburger as much as I like pizza, as much as I like whatever. So the one standout to me is like a French fry or potato.
So for me, I have two choices, but I think I have a definitive answer. My two favorite meals is probably beef Wellington and chicken marsala.
Ooh, I love chicken marsala.
Now, for a single sit down, I think I like beef Wellington maybe a little bit better. But if I had to eat it for the rest of my life, I think I'm going chicken marsala because I get my pasta, I get my chicken, I get my sauce.
Wider,
Yeah, I think it's chicken marsala for the rest of my life. Did I tell you my weird chicken marsala story from last year?
No, but I'm intrigued. Oh,
that's
a great intro to a book. Is like a weird chicken marsala story.
I went to an Italian restaurant in upstate New York. Like, so I'm in where I think Italian should be. Like I'm Italian mostly. I'm a lot of things. I come from the family side that I grew up with is Italian. I went to an Italian restaurant. I went in there. I ordered chicken marsala. And she took down my order. She goes, "Do you want pasta with that?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I want pasta with it. It's chicken marsala." Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This waitress, bartender, because I was sitting at the bar, whatever you want to call it, brought out a plate with just the chicken marsala on it, and then brought me a bowl of pasta with red sauce on it.
Oh.
I've never been so offended in my entire life to be served pasta.
What did you do? What did you say?
I just
how do you handle that?
I was just like, what do you do at that point? You're just like, I'm like, you're an Italian restaurant. Like, what is this? What are we doing right now?
I'm trying to think about like a comp to that. Like, if you ordered they have the what's the like brownie with like the brownie like ice cream and stuff, whatever, and it's like the whole point is that it like all comes together, right? You put it's like and they brought it all out in separate dishes and like made you like fucking put it together or something yourself. I'm like, excuse me, you brought me a brownie and ice cream, and then there's hot fudge over here, and then it's like, oh, what was this person thinking? And like, was it her first day? So now my mind is racing, right? Like, was it her first day? Does she not know? Does she not have access to a menu? Right? Like where she works? Does she not actually know what that dish is?
Yeah.
And like, look, not everybody's, I get it. Not everybody, that's a pretty common dish, but still, she works there. So like, they're supposed, like a lot of the people know what the stuff is like by memory. Right. And it's like, okay, even if you don't, you do have access to a menu, right? Because you ordered it off a menu. So she has to have a menu. So like, how does that even happen? That doesn't even make any sense.
It does. It doesn't. The only other thing that's ever happened that close is my girlfriend. Now, the first time we ever went out, we went to a restaurant, and I think she ordered chicken broccoli ziti, which is chicken broccoli ziti, and they go, "What do you want for a side?" And she went, and we both kind of looked at the, because I was like, maybe they mean like bread. We're like,
Yeah.
we're like, what are the choices? And they go like, mashed
chicken,
potatoes,
broccoli, or ziti.
fries.
Chicken, broccoli, or ziti. Which side do you want?
So Regina like froze like the Beyonce meme, and she's like, French fries, I guess. I don't, like, what do you say?
See, and the perfect. We've come full circle. I would have snap called French fries, like just snap called. What side do you want? And I would be like, "Oh, do you have fries? I would love a side of fries with my chicken broccoli ziti."
Eric's like bonus food. I literally thought they were gonna be like garlic bread, like white bread, like
right.
Like I thought that's what they were going with.
Right, a salad or whatever. Yeah, like not.
Salad. I guess sure.
Yeah. Oh man,
they brought out the carrots, broccoli, asparagus menu, and we were just like broccoli's already in it though. Like, what are we doing right now?
Oh god. Chris says Texas Dolly famously had a bet to eat quail a day for 30 days, paid to get out of the bet after 20 something days. That's a fun. I did not know that that story. That is great. Amen. Rick says this is my thing with any of the food questions. It's always like versatility is a big deal. Right. That's why we with like the pizza sandwich thing was like we were both like, I think I'm choosing pizza, but I know that the sandwich is the right thing from a versatility perspective. I think that's my potato thing. Is like I could like literally every kind of you could do whatever to be appropriate, chat, but you could do whatever you want to a potato, and I would be like, I'd probably eat within reason. I would eat it. Like there's almost nothing that as a like I'm not sure I've had a potato dish that I didn't like.
You didn't even mention the best one, which is au gratin.
Au gratin, dude. Like do you guys do this? This is I don't know if this is the most Midwest thing or it's just a normal thing. Hash brown potato casserole is like, like some people might call it like a cheesy hash brown cheesy casserole, whatever, is like a staple of like you go to a Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter probably the most is like hash brown potatoes, bread crumble on top, cheese, whatever. It's like a total staple. And that's another thing. Like hash browns, right? Like there's a million different hash browns are my favorite part of a breakfast. Everything is a fucking potato. I would turn into a potato if I didn't limit myself to them. So that's definitely my answer.
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Loaded baked potato, dude. Look, even like put some chili on top of there. Put like anything you can do. Absolutely, bacon, cheese, whatever. Oh man, just anything.
I wish we had more of a chili scene up here. Like I like chili, but chili's almost like a forgotten food up here. I feel like
that's interesting.
It's not as disgusting as Ohio. Like Ohio tried to claim chili and then they ruined it.
Imagine trying to make something your thing and becoming the worst at it. That's what Ohio did.
Welcome to Spike Week, everybody, where we talk about basketball.
Welcome to Spike Week. I hope you are really interested in best ball advice. And also, I hope you're not from Ohio because we're telling you that you're really bad at the one thing that you claim to be good at. Because we know the Browns suck. Would you like to talk about the Browns? I mean, geez, what's the difference? Notably, Mama Beimfohr, shout out Mama Beimfohr, my mother, award-winning chili, and now it's become a thing. But this is when I was a baby. She was making chili and has won some chili cook-offs and different stuff around the St. Louis area. And it's like pretty. I'm not saying she invented this, but it's become a lot more popular since then. Like cinnamon in the chili, so there's like a little kick with the sweetness of the cinnamon was like her big thing back in the day. So that that's been 35 years or whatever. So we're quite old now, but back then she was big on the chili, and we do some decent chili in the Midwest because it gets cold as shit during the winter. And what the hell else do you do in the Midwest but make some chili at home?
Oh, that we started doing this thing on Hometown Ghost Stories Friday. We did like an Are You Afraid of the Dark, where we set up cameras and we told ghost stories around a fire live on YouTube. Shameless plug, I guess, but the whole point I'm bringing that up is I think maybe we're planning on doing that once a month, and maybe we can incorporate making like some chili when it gets to fall and doing that. So that might be a thing that maybe we'll do.
This is an interesting idea.
More chili in my life.
This or that has turned into food, as tends to happen. Order a pizza and get a pita and sliced American cheese. I feel like there's an extra step to this that I'm missing. What am I, FK Coolers? What am I missing to this? Like, how does this all come together? How does this assemble to the? First of all, sliced American cheese is fucking disgusting. That's not even like cheese.
Like from the deli, or are you talking about like Kraft single?
I mean, even from the deli is the worst kind of cheese that you could choose. The sliced American cheese. I mean, it may not technically be the worst. Like, there may be a cheese that I dislike more, but like if we're ranking them, if we're doing tiers of cheeses, the American cheese is near the bottom. There's a lot of phenomenal cheeses, and it is not at the top. It's not at the top. Let's say that much.
Yeah, I went with cheddar over American cheese today.
Kraft. I will say the most Midwest shit ever is. I used to eat so much Kraft American cheese. Oh my god,
we all did, and that's why our generation looks so good.
Exactly.
Because we pumped our body with these preservatives.
Why I'm telling you that I need to stop eating so many potatoes because I need to lose some weight is because I ate fucking pounds and pounds and pounds of Kraft American cheese when I was 8 or whatever.
Yeah, but that's why we still look like late 20s instead of early 60s like every other generation.
That's true.
So thanks, science.
RGT says, how about mashed potato pizza with bacon and shredded cheddar? So I think Big Country, shout out Big Country in the Spike Week Discord, which of course, if we're doing shameless plugs, is free for you to join, and only $5 a month to get access to all the premium channels in the description. We have a food channel, which is very popular. One of the most popular channels in the Best Ball Discord is probably why we're carrying on about food for a half hour, is the food channel. But RGT mentions this mashed potato pizza, and I'll be honest, Big Country posted a mashed potato pizza, and I think that was where I drew the line on the pizza stuff. I've had the Casey's breakfast pizza, because Casey's breakfast pizza is a very Midwest thing, and it I don't like it like the Midwesterners like it. The folks who pull up by their bootstraps and go to Casey's at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday morning and get breakfast pizza like it a lot more than I do. But it's fine.
Is that weird convenience store that I thought
correct.
People were going to stab me in, right? Okay.
That's correct. Yes. It's Midwest Wawa or is a Casey's. Not as nice, not as good, whatever. But they think they do okay. It's like shitty bar food at a gas station is what Casey's is. But they do this breakfast pizza. The pizza's fine. But they posted Big Country posted a mashed potato pizza. I couldn't get to it. I couldn't get there because I don't know. This is another food thing for me. Texture is a big deal with this. So if you're like this or that, I don't even know what we compare texture versus taste. I can't do the weird textures. Like I just can't. And you put the kind of like soft, moist sliminess or whatever you want to call it of a mashed potato on top of a pizza. I'm like, nah, it's kind of a non-starter for me.
I think I would try it. So not even the texture thing for me. That I do understand completely. It sounds too heavy. It sounds like you
mean putting a bunch of potatoes on top of another fucking carb, an entire you have 2,000 calories of fucking bread, and you put a bunch of potatoes on top of there. Yeah, and cheese. Like Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, it does sound like you're swallowing a cement block.
Imagine what your gut looks like after a mashed potato pizza, dude. Oh my god.
Gotta get
There's a lot of calories, and there's
immediately.
2 grams of protein. There's 2 grams of protein on the whole goddamn pizza. And it's only in the cheese, which is not exactly sitting light in your stomach. Good Lord.
Oh, by the way, hot honey with pepperoni pizza is incredible.
I think that's my favorite thing. I try to do some like a slightly healthier versions of pizza at the house, and we buy some local hot honey. That's exactly what. Oh man, it's just the absolute best.
Yes. What else do we have here for some topics?
Cody mentions Quick Trip. So first of all, Cody, I love you. That's not how they spell Quick Trip. It is spelled like quick, but I respect the Quick Trip. I'm not a big Casey's person. There is one in my hometown, but I support Quick Trip. I'm cool with it.
We don't have either of those around here. We're Cumberland Farms in this area.
The difference of the like gas station / convenience store / whatever, like 7-Eleven versus Quick Trip versus Casey's versus Wawa versus all that, like, is so fascinating to me. Like everything else is non-regional nowadays. Other than there's regional shit, but in terms of like that, like McDonald's is everywhere, right? Like that, you would think that the like gas station convenience store would also have, like, we would have a McDonald's for that, and no one's really taken over that space. That seems bizarre to me.
Well, we don't have that here. We don't have that loyalty for gas stations here like the rest of the country does for the most part. Like, I know there's the Wawa.
We don't either.
And the
like Casey's is not that. Like it's a thing here, but it's, you just go to whatever. There's 3 different ones right by my house.
Yeah.
And I don't live in like a crazy area that we don't have loyalty to the gas station stuff, like you said, like Wawa or what's the other
Buc-ee's is a big
Buc-ee's.
one.
Yeah, Buc-ee's.
And there's one more, and I can't think of the name of it. It's either in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, but it's like Wawa. But there are people that like swear by these places, and I think we don't have it because we have Dunks. Like, that's just who we are as a society around here, and we don't even like Dunks, but it's here. So
Quick Trip is a Minnesota spelling. Interesting. I did not know that. Another thing Minnesota gets wrong. Speaking of their weather, you couldn't fucking, like, I live in St. Louis, and you couldn't goddamn pay me to live in to pay to Sheets. Thank you. To pay an exorbitant amount to live in Minnesota. Like, I think Minnesota forgot how uncomfortable it is to live there. They were like, we're going to make it really, really expensive for you to come live here, and you're going to hate every day. Our sports teams suck. You're cold as shit all the time, and it's really expensive. Who wants? Everybody, come on, come to Minnesota. Great sales pitch.
God, the Vikings only had 1 year in our lifetime that I can remember that they should have went to the Super Bowl, and they blew it.
And then what? The Twins
right?
The Twins had Kirby Puckett. The Timberwolves turned Kevin Garnett into never winning a playoff series.
Yeah.
And gave him away to the Celtics to win a championship. and they won a championship. Like, man,
Garnett and Marbury.
Yep. Yeah, Marbury. Mm-hmm.
They had them together.
Because they kept rotating the guards around KG. They knew they had KG, one of the top 5 players in the league at the time, and they just kept rotating all these guards, right? Him and Marbury didn't end up getting along, so they did the Sam Cassell. They did Terrell Brandon. Latrell Sprewell was around when, I believe, both, for sure Cassell, but maybe Brandon as well. But like, they just kept Wally Zerbiak. They tried fucking everything.
Forgot about Wally Zerbiak.
Wally Zerbiak. They
55?
tried
Is
everything.
his jersey number 55?
Yes, it was. No, or Spree 55 and Zerbiak was 30 something. I can't remember. No, Spree was 8. But anyway, they tried so much that they cheated. Do you remember Joe Smith, power forward? He went to the University of Illinois. They like cheated to try to get him in free agency. I forget what they had to forfeit a 1st-round pick, and like I forget what the exact. Somebody in chat probably remembers this. Joe Smith, like, fine NBA player. I would like kind of like a modern Horace Grant is kind of what I would call Joe Smith, like a solid, like reasonable starting like power forward in the NBA. And they were like so desperate to get anybody who could win around Kevin Garnett that they went and like, I forget what they did with the backdoor dealings to get Joe Smith, that they had to like forfeit like a like picks and money like and stuff. And like, it was like just like everything that the Timberwolves touched turned to shit. Like not gold to shit. So much so that they had to send KG off. Like, man. Okay, here we go. This or that. You're a Boston fan.
Mm-hmm.
You had to you have to, so one of these is you choose, you root for them the rest of your life, and the other one you disown and you no longer root for. The Patriots or the Celtics?
I thought you were going to give me the easy out there.
I know. The Red Sox you just disown.
Yeah.
Easily.
Because I'm just not a huge baseball guy, like overall. So like,
also they've been nothing but fucking brutal besides one season to deal with. You're like forever. Like if you love misery, like Jets fans and Red Sox fans love each other because they're both, I mean, they obviously hate each other, but like, you know, they've dealt with a lot of bullshit. At least the Red Sox got the one season. But Patriots and Celtics have had a lot of good. It's been nothing but good mostly between the two franchises.
Well, the only counterpoint I'll give you on the Red Sox is there was nothing like living here that year that they won the World Series. But
I'm aware of the year of the World Series.
But I'm just saying, like, being here during that, like, it was different. But they were also a victim of their own success because Boston fans didn't know how to act after that because we were just so used to losing, like as a baseball town that never won. It altered the way people looked at the franchise after like 2 or 3 years, especially when they won like two more. And people are just like, you know, whatever. The Celtics are just always loved. And we're just never going to have a run like the Patriots had again.
Can I give an outsider perspective? What it feels to me as obviously a non-Bostonian. Frankly, I hate Boston sports. Also, downtown Boston, not a big fan. It's cool to see. Hated every second of like navigating around it. Hate the Patriots as a Rams fan, but frankly don't like the Celtics either. But it feels to me like the nostalgia of the Celtics is like the core of Boston. Like listening to a Bostonian talk about like the Tatum injury was like they lost a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like Brady left was like their cousin told him to fuck off at a family reunion. And like those are both hurtful. But one is in a very different stratosphere of, and it just feels like, you know, it's like we're talking about Bird and like the nostalgia of the Celtics is just like ingrained in the city, whereas the Patriots were not that until Brady and Belichick, right? So like maybe I'm misperceiving it. That run was obviously like one of the greatest runs of sports history, one of the best dynasties ever. But it just felt to me as an outsider that the Patriots were like an awesome like 20-year experience. The Celtics are like the core of Boston sports.
Yeah, but here's the flip side of that. Then it's going to be age group dependent. So my age group is Patriots because
all you've known is like
that run was my teenage years into my mid 30s
in 2000.
Right. So 10th grade, I think 10th grade for me was the Patriots Rams Super Bowl. So I didn't see the majority of
all of this misery coming back to me from the Red Sox to the Patriots.
I didn't see the Bird era Celtics like too long in my life, right? So like,
yeah,
and I didn't get to. So all the Bird and Russell stuff for the most part, I saw some of the Bird stuff towards the tail end. I didn't see,
but you didn't see the real Celtics. Yeah.
I didn't get that, and then the Celtics kind of sucked for a while. Then we had the really fun run with Pierce, Garnett, Allen. It was really short. And I'm going to be honest with you, like I will root for the Celtics still, but I just haven't fallen in love with this iteration of the Celtics. I like Tatum. I really, really wanted to like Jaylen Brown. I
He's a weird guy.
I just haven't enjoyed watching him play basketball.
Well, he can't dribble.
He can't. And
It's really got to be frustrating to watch. Like, you're paying this guy $60 million a year and he can't dribble with his left hand.
yeah, it's just really tough.
I mean, he's a Finals MVP. Like, the dude has accomplished. Like, he's done incredible things. And but I watch him the same as a non-fan. I watch him and I'm just like, you are infuriating, dude, to watch play basketball.
I know this like from because I feel like I can talk about things objectively. If I were to step back, if I wasn't a Celtics fan, I think I would hate the Celtics. Like this version of the Celtics, they would just drive me insane. Like as a fan, I would just hate them because I would hate the way they played basketball and I'd hate watching them win. I think my answer is the Patriots. I think it's pretty easy. It's just I don't expect them to ever do what they did again in my lifetime or ever probably.
No,
but that run was amazing.
No, I'm not sure anyone will ever do what they did.
Yeah, exactly. And the nostalgia from that run and just being able to watch Brady and being able to drive 30 minutes to go watch a Patriots game. I don't even really like going to football games too much, but like going to see Brady play was special. So I think it's Patriots for me.
Fun fact: I watched Brady's last game as a Patriot. The Titans loss. Mm-hmm. Shout out DraftKings. We got to there's no other way to frame it other than it comes off as a humble brag, but I don't mean it that way. But I just happen to have the right connections at DraftKings. They had a suite at that playoff game, and a bunch of us went, and that was as a Patriots hater and being there with a bunch of Titans fans was one of the most fun football experiences I've ever had in my entire life. You would have thought, speaking of like people's children died or like someone kicked their puppy or whatever, like it was unbelievable. It was silent after the game, like stone cold. And you obviously you know how it is around there. It's like it's like its own city. The stadium is, and it was like, you know, when you're pulling up, it's chaos and like loud as hell, and it's a cool place. The infrastructure, however, like getting there, holy shit! Oh my god! Like I'm not sure that they're aware that a 2-lane road running to this like plate where thousands and thousands of people are all trying to go at the same time. Like we probably need to beef that up a little bit. And as someone who had been drinking all day, as a, you know, and we're right, like we had to stop like there was a bunch of us in a limo riding to the game, right? And we had to stop like several times to just pits on the side of the road because it was like, what the fuck else are we gonna do? Like to get there is a bizarre experience. But it was seriously like crickets leaving the game. It was wild. I mean, there was some random people yelling, you know, drunk people mad or whatever. But it was like it was crazy. That was one of the more unique sports experiences I've ever had. But at least I got to say Brady stole my childhood football fandom. At least I got to experience that one.
Yeah, but that season, that's probably because like that season it felt snake bitten the whole year.
Yeah,
and then I think everyone knew it was the last season with Brady. Like it was over, and so you basically saw, you know, the funeral, right? Like that was the grave was dug at that point. So like it was just over. And then it became the weird thing. Like you were either team Brady or team Belichick. And if you were team Belichick, I don't understand
what your
thought process was.
This or that, Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick is the easiest fucking this or that you've ever heard in your entire life. And if you choose Belichick, you are not only wrong, you're a fucking moron. Like I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. And the results have bared that out. Like one guy is coaching at North Carolina now, and the other guy won a Super Bowl after he left. Like I can't believe that was ever a debate.
One guy is being puppeted by a 22-year-old fiance when he's 7,900 years old.
Didn't we do the Jeff Dunham? We recently made a Jeff Dunham reference on this exact show in the last couple of weeks. And that's like he is literally one of Jeff Dunham's puppets, and his girlfriend is Jeff Dunham, while Tom Brady is like living his best life. And I'm not saying that Tom Brady hasn't done, you know, divorce, and he's a terrible commentator and all that kind of stuff. But like the dude went on and clearly showed who the driver of that ship was. And I'm not saying Belichick was a bad coach, because that's not true. He was not, obviously. But if we're assigning like a responsibility to the Patriots run, I just don't know how you don't give it to Brady.
It's the quarterback that could morph into what they needed him to be.
100%. All right. I got a handful of this or that. Some of these are, I would say about 60% or so are for fantasy football for this year. So let's hit a couple of these. Also, because I have to pee. So you get to go with this one. I'm actually genuinely curious. You have to draft an elite quarterback this year, and you have to draft Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. This or that. Are you choosing Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
For this year specifically, my heart tells me to take Lamar Jackson, but based on where I've been drafting, hefty majority of my teams, which is drafters and somewhat DraftKings, but drafters specifically, I am taking a lot of Josh Allen, taking a lot of Lamar Jackson too. But when Josh Allen is going after Lamar Jackson on a site, and I can just start pounding Josh Allen teams, and the best part about drafting the Josh Allen teams, Lamar Jackson teams too, is the variation of the squads that I get to get. Like his unique ownership combination with the guys that I'm drafting is heavy. So for that purpose, it's Josh Allen, but I really would love to say Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I hate that we have the same answer to this one, because it is also Josh Allen for me, and I'm a Lamar stan. Also, this is great. Rick says 60 minutes into the stream, and we get to football. We touched on like a handful of half-ass football things, including Brady. I can't believe I'm a Brady stan, but I hate Belichick even more than I hate Brady. So thus is life. So Lamar is my favorite quarterback. Lamar's my favorite fantasy quarterback. I think we've never seen, as great as Josh Allen is, as great as Patrick Mahomes is, we've never seen a human being be able to do the things that he's like if Michael Vick were like really good.
Yeah.
Like remember that, like if Vick was like an actual, like not just like a kind of a video game quarterback, he's like Lamar has developed into, remember all the people doing he's a running back playing quarterback takes?
Yeah.
Can you imagine having posted that like on the internet for people to see? And you look back now, and like every year Lamar's breaking like accuracy records and shit. You're like, no, dude, he's just like the best quarterback in the NFL. And I know that's up for debate. I'm not trying to do that. However, what the Bills need Josh Allen to do, I think, is like next level. And I think that there's more paths to Josh Allen just like having to go full Josh Allen than there are paths to Lamar having to go full crazy Lamar. Now Lamar can do it. Lamar can do it without having to like put that cape on, like sometimes he just like, oh, haha, we won 35-3, but I scrambled for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. But like the Bills, I think might need, especially this year, might need Josh Allen to just do some insane stuff. So I do prefer Josh Allen, but I thought it was an interesting kind of if you had to pick one, right? You had to draft one of these two superstars. Which would you do? And I was hoping you would say Lamar, so we could be on the opposite side, because I hate standing for Josh Allen, but I think it's him.
But I also like Josh Allen on the other sites as well, just because. I mean, I was looking at a lot of quarterback stuff this last week, and not that Lamar is not capable of putting up a huge game, because he is, but if you just want a huge game from a quarterback, there's no one that can do what Josh Allen does fantasy-wise, like consistently. You know what I mean? Like just putting up that 40 to 50 point range of games.
Yeah. I think Lamar had more spike weeks last year, but when Allen goes full Allen, it's like you said, we've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's like a huge separation factor. Like Lamar
account for like 7 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah. He had I think he had a 41 and a 50 point game last year.
Right.
And the 41
and Lamar puts up a bunch of Lamar puts up a bunch of 30 to 35 point game, which is
amazing.
No one's scoffing at that. That's why he also goes in the third round. But like when Allen goes full Allen, he just doesn't go full Allen as much because they do have a little bit of a boomerish coach, and they do, for whatever reason, decide to take the ball out of his hands way too much. And they don't have Derrick Henry, right? It's one thing to take the ball out of your hands and give it to Derrick Henry. It's one thing to take, and then it's another thing to take the ball out of his hands and give it to Ty fucking Johnson. Yeah. I think let's just let Josh Allen go win the game. But when they do let him go win the game, it's like, oh, fuck, man. Like, you saw that. Like, I know was it week 15 or 16 last year when they played the Lions? And I forget which one. 15, right? And if you didn't have anybody in that game, you're just sitting there like, it's the second quarter and you just knew. You're like, fuck, man, this is going to, I need Gibbs or Amon-Ra or Allen or somebody. Please save me, because they're going to score a bunch, and he scored 50, and a bunch of Lions went nuts. And when Allen goes full Allen, it's like there is nothing like it, even Lamar. So
yeah,
Lamar before Best Ball says Lamar because of the stacking. I actually think Allen because of the stacking. I can get, if you want to stack Josh Allen, it's super super easy. Lamar, I mean, I love. Isaiah Likely is like one of my favorite picks on the entire board. I like it, but like I'm not like goosed up the draft pick 100 Rashad Bateman, and like Zay is fine, but I can get if I want to stack Josh Allen, it is freely available in every single draft, and it's available in every draft for Lamar. There's just a slightly condensed version of options, and then Zay is just a little bit more expensive than the other guys. So I'm splitting hairs, but it's just a little bit easier to stack Josh Allen.
I don't think you have to stack either.
No, you don't.
And I don't like either of the number one wide receiver options for either team based on
they're very similar
price. I don't like the Zay Flowers price, and I don't like the Khalil Shakur price either. Like I usually don't grab either of those guys. I prefer to just take the shots.
This is why I like them.
Yeah.
Is because I can get their nuclear ceiling upside at tight end, and for the audio listeners, for Best Ball says Lamar plus tight end versus Allen plus tight end.
Yeah.
So I do prefer Likely or Andrews to Kincaid, but like I'm willing to do the Kincaid thing again, specifically because I think in the scenario in which Josh Allen goes nuts in a game, or Josh Allen goes nuts over the course of the season just because he has to pass more, that's good for Dalton Kincaid. And I can get these tight ends very cheap in drafts. You know what I mean? So it's like I can kind of two birds with one stone. I can still get, I guess, like multiple birds with one stone. I can get this elite quarterback, and then I just know once I take them, there's tight ends later. You're like, I got a tight end later, so I can fill the tight end spot with a correlated piece, and that allows me to kind of like, do you want to take another early running back, or do you want to get some wide receivers that don't correlate to these quarterbacks? It's just like free. These two guys like free you up to do shit that like shouldn't be possible with a third round quarterback.
And there's late stuff you can do. Like I'll take Elijah Moore with Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'll do,
but I'm also not.
I'm not doing a ton.
But I'm also not doing the Tez Walker thing again this year. So that's personal growth from my perspective. I'm not doing that, which means you should do it. Everyone else should do it.
I clicked DeAndre Hopkins the other day, and I almost vomited. I was like, "No, I was going to say again."
I'm pretty sure you instantly projectile vomit when you draft DeAndre Hopkins.
It's the vomit button. I was like, "Oh, no."
Exactly. It turns into the draft button on Underdog or whatever. It goes from draft to vomit, and it stays green because naturally that makes sense. And then you just puke all over your phone. All right. Here's a non-football one that is one that I love to hear people's answer because I'm going to judge you. GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, this or that?
GoldenEye.
Slam dunk.
This is an actual like. This
do you have any
that people have?
Do you have? Some people swear by Perfect Dark, and that's why I said I will judge you. See, the very first comment was Perfect Dark. Shout out Dial. Thank you for being on the right team. Best Ball Snap called what the settings that he plays the multiplayer with. 007 basement with power weapons. But there are people that swear by Perfect Dark, and like Perfect Dark's fine, but 007 is like, is it on your Mount Rushmore of video games? I know I don't want to spoil it all because we're gonna do some video game talk later, but this is like slam dunk 007.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's to me, it's easy. It's GoldenEye, and no one can pick Oddjob.
I agree.
You can't pick Oddjob. That's a rule. Like everyone had that rule, right?
Yeah, if anybody picked Oddjob, they were the like they got kicked out of the slumber party or whatever. You know, like go fucking sleep outside. We would leave it open at first and like let and see who would do it. Because it was like, all right, we learned about you if you picked that job.
Yeah.
FK Coolers says the same thing. That's like asking any Mario game versus Luigi's Mansion. So that's a good one. Luigi's Mansion. That is a deep cut.
Luigi's Mansion is fun.
It is fun, but like,
yeah, but there's so many good Mario games.
Yeah, there's a million good Mario games. Is there any 64 games specific to 64? Because this was the console that like I became obsessed with video games on. Was 64. Was that the same for you? Because I know we're close to the same age, but was 64 your early console?
Super Nintendo was my console.
Okay, that's the first that I played like seriously with Super Nintendo. But 64 was when I was like, okay, this is like I'm obsessed with video games now.
Yeah, I mean, I had the regular Nintendo. I remember that like vaguely as a kid. I was really good at video games as a kid. I remember the first time I picked up a controller was when my aunt couldn't beat a level in the original Mario, and I beat it on my first try, which is insane. But that once you get older, though, that goes away. You do not have that skill anymore. You do not have. The video game skill loses you. No, I was Super Nintendo was like my first like main console. I would say 64 was obviously great. The PS2 I think might be the greatest console of all time in terms of like just the games that came out for that.
Yeah.
In general, like PS2 is just amazing. I mean, there's obviously better games today as technology has grown, but the PS2 was like,
it was the first like real modern console,
yeah,
right? Where you were like, holy shit, these games are nuts.
Yeah. So I can tell you the game that drove me the craziest on Nintendo 64 that I've actually gone back and watched people do playthroughs on because I couldn't beat it was the Castlevania game on Castlevania 64.
I only barely played it, but I know
because it was terrible. Because it was like the worst design.
I didn't like it. That's why I didn't play it, because I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, and then like I watch people that do the playthroughs and they're like, yeah, this was like the worst design game of all time. It's like, great, I'm glad I'm not the only one that freaking thought that. It was terrible. But these companies were learning 3D at the time, so
right. Yeah. But 64 was so interesting because it was the most unique controller like we've maybe ever had, but it's still kind of like it like worked and didn't work.
Yeah,
it's the most weird. It's like it worked because like half of it works for every game and the other half was like truly useless. Like they have this huge controller with 3 prongs, and you're like every game that it was like you had to put your hands in different places.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like depend and like use different parts of the controller, which is like kind of cool and kind of the most miserable experience you've ever had in your entire life. It was very bizarre. But my favorite, obviously, you know this, Ken Griffey Jr. is my favorite, like my top 3 favorite athletes of all time, and Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on 64 is like still to this day my favorite baseball video game ever. And it also like they if I remember this correctly, someone can correct me in chat. They were the first baseball video game to like you could guess pitches, and they did like like the size of the like ring and stuff would like change based on the quality of the hitter and all that different kind of stuff. And it's like that's like norm. Like the show is doing that now still, right? To this day, all the same shit. And like that was in like whatever 95, like in the N64. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball video game. So that will always be a good one to me. MDS says, so people swear by like the gameplay of Perfect Dark over 007. That's why I think that's why people are Perfect Dark
Both made by
fans.
Rare, though. Probably the same engine.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the same shit. And
Yeah.
nostalgia does a crazy thing to a person.
Yeah.
We remember things very differently. Yeah, this is for sure. Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS2 was like you also felt like you were doing something inappropriate, like watching a Cinemax film or whatever, you know, like you were like, I'm getting away with something my parents are not supposed to be letting me do, playing Grand Theft Auto on
Yeah, well, I
PS2.
remember the top-down ones were like that too. Because you're like,
Oh yeah.
you're doing some crazy shit. And those, I mean, 3 was revolutionary, like you said, but the first ones are funny to go back and look at now. Because like the gunshots were like little white like ping pongs that
Oh
came out.
yeah.
But yeah, they
Yeah,
were
3 Grand Theft Auto 3 like changed video game. I mean, so did GoldenEye, but Grand Theft Auto, man, jeez. All right, I got another football one. Between two rookies, this is a really difficult question now because full transparency, I'm struggling what the hell to do with. I'm trying to update the rankings specifically for the second round picks, which of course both of these players are second round picks because all the goddamn second. And I respect this from a real life perspective. So 30 out of 32 second round picks are unsigned. For anyone that doesn't know this, you need to know this, like actual real stuff, not like pizza versus sandwich conversation. 30 out of 32 second round picks from this year's NFL draft are unsigned because the two that did sign signed fully guaranteed contracts. So all these other guys are banding together, and the agents, of course, are having them band together. And Quinshon Judkins, I'm sure, is not helping the process with like, let's go get fully guaranteed money. It's not like these contracts are like a total of sub 12 million, sub 11 million dollars. So from an NFL perspective, like who gives a shit? Like it really doesn't matter. So I respect it. I think it makes sense for the players. However, it is a little bit of a nuisance for us because like when are these guys going to actually report to camp? I don't know. But my two favorite running backs in the second round, even above Quinshon Judkins, the market as well, are RJ Harvey and Travion Henderson, one notably a New England Patriot. This or that, RJ Harvey or Travion Henderson for you?
I'm Harvey on this one. As much as I like clicking both of them, I think that Harvey has a better shot at consolidating the carries and time on field. I know Dobbins is there. I understand that. But I feel like the way the Patriots are going to run it is unless there's an injury or Ramondre just looks like really dusted, I don't think they're going to give Henderson the full workload. Like when I say full workload, that's different than 10 years ago. I mean, I just don't think that he's going to be well ahead of what Ramondre is doing. I think it'll be closer to 50-50 rather than like 75-25.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Harvey has a better chance of taking that because of, I think he could just be flat out better, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think Henderson will be better than Ramondre. But I mean, let's be real. Even though Dobbins was better last year, he still got injured again for 4 or 5 games or whatever. And it's just a constant pattern with J.K. Dobbins. And I just think that Harvey overall has a better pathway to like winning us a tournament than Henderson does. And I like Henderson. I'm drafting a ton of Henderson, but I think if I had to have one, if I had to consolidate all my ownership into one,
right, this or that, you got to choose one. You get to draft one team. You get only, and they go close to each other. You got to draft one. You would choose RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey is who I would pick.
I agree. I have RJ Harvey ranked one spot ahead of Travion Henderson, so it's the same as you. I like both of these guys. I'm drafting both of these guys. I think if I had to envision a scenario in which one of these two guys just like straight broke fantasy and we're drafting him like 6th overall next year, as much as I love Travion, I do think that it is Harvey. You mentioned the Dobbins stuff, which I totally agree with. And I would say the Broncos. I love Drake May. I'm excited about the Patriots. I think Mike Vrabel is a nice upgrade. The Broncos are like proven good. I know they're good. You're assuming Bo Nix stays healthy, the Broncos are going to be very good on offense. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. They have a good offensive line. They have a good head coach, a head coach who's very good for running backs, by the way. I know it didn't go so well last year, but historically has been exceptional for running backs. And so if I can get that guy, and maybe Dobbins isn't old Dobbins, he doesn't stay healthy, or RJ Harvey is just that guy. What if RJ Harvey is just that dude? Like, J.K. Dobbins is not. Like, J.K. Dobbins is good. He's not stopping. If RJ Harvey is the next whatever, Brees, he's not stopping. Dobbins isn't stopping that from being a fantasy smash. Not in this offense. Not with Bo Nix. So Travion Henderson was my RB2 in this rookie class, but I just think that RJ Harvey has the pathway to like totally nuking fantasy. And so I thought they were a fun one because they're like priced really similarly, and they're both second round rookie picks.
Yeah, and I love to play it because the Broncos are a tough team to draft right now overall, and the way I like to play it is through Harvey. I mean, I still draft some Dobbins here and there, but
I like the running backs both the most though. Like,
but Sean Payton showed like he was not happy with what happened with that backfield last year. Just completely overhauls it. It was probably clear that they were going to bring somebody else in behind Harvey, no matter what. I might have been later in the season. They luck box into being able to get J.K. Dobbins at a reasonable price. And I think these are the conversations we need to be having a little bit more than like the Cowboys backfield, which I think could just be the Broncos backfield from last year. It's lines up the same. Javonte Williams is the same. Blue is just McLaughlin, right? And then Miles Sanders is Benjamin Button, Audric Estime.
I do feel like we do this. This is what we do as fantasy players. We belabor the like hot button issues, the things that are most polarizing to us, very like all summer. We're just going to keep talking about them until we're blue in the face. And I get it. Like, those are the things we're most passionate about because they're the most polarizing, right? Which Cowboys running back is going to win out? Everybody has a take, and when you win, it's going to feel really good. But like, we do it for a little bit, and like, honestly, I don't know. Like, none of us know. We have a take, but it doesn't really matter. These kinds of conversations, like, if you had to pick one between Harvey and Henderson, like, of course, someone would say, "Well, you can just draft both and spread out your exposure." But in most drafts, if you're going to draft off of ADP, you cannot have both of them. Sometimes you can, but a lot of the times you cannot. And we don't ever talk about this, and we spend all of, like you said, we spend all our time Jaden Blue versus Javonte Williams versus Miles Sanders, or should you draft 3 quarterbacks versus 2 quarterbacks, or whatever. And it's like, when are we going to get to the shit that like is like an actual decision in the drafts that like I feel pressure about? It's like, honestly, I don't care about whether I should draft Tyler Shuck on my Josh Allen team. I don't care. I don't. That's not interesting to me. But tell me who's going to win the league between RJ Harvey and Travion Henderson. It's like a very serious conversation, because we all have to make that decision every single draft, and it is like a 6th round pick that really, really matters.
There's a level of winning.
Yes.
Whereas like the Cowboy situation could be an all, like just an L all around.
Yeah, but it's like none of them could matter. Like, someone's still going to try to take a W, but like they all could not matter. It's hard for me to imagine like all the rookie running backs fail. Yeah, South says Derek loses microphone. Yeah, it's sitting right here, but let me tell you, brother, it ain't working. That's why we were notably 10 minutes late, because I sat here to try to troubleshoot my microphone. I have no idea what's going on. I apologize for the audio quality. I promise you, as triggered as you might be, I am 10 times more triggered. Rob knows this. Like, the not having good audio quality is like an insanely triggering thing as someone who's like doing YouTube shows.
Yeah. Yes, I will agree with that.
All right. I got another one, because I think I know your answer to this one, but I was curious on the question of what you think, because they go right next to each other. Specifically on DraftKings, they really go right next to each other. And there's two Packers wide receivers, and someone might be saying, I like the Packers. I want to draft the Packers. But both of the Packers' two good wide receivers, because Romeo Doubs is not good and Dante Winwich is really not good. Which one do I take if I want to draft Jordan Love later? Matthew Golden or Jaden Reed? This or that?
This is a serious question.
Yeah,
You're really asking me.
Only because I knew what you were going to say, and I wanted to hear you talk about it.
It's Jaden Reed. It's easy. I want to draft more Matthew Golden, but it's Jaden Reed.
But you can't, because Jaden Reed goes right next to
him. Yeah. Well, I've actually been flirting with pulling one up now.
Yeah.
To do a couple of the Packers doubles. This is Jaden Reed all day, every day, twice on Sunday, which is when they usually play football games. So I like Jaden Reed for everything that Jaden Reed is. It wasn't a great season last year. He wasn't on the field as much as I wanted him to be. I think the Packers season ended up being just real weird with the Jordan Love injury overall. I don't think that we got the true Packers experience. I'm not saying that he would have been on the field 100% of the time. He sat down with the front office this year because of the way last year played out. I think it was to be like, dude, you got to make sure I'm on the field a little bit more. I'm your best player.
Jaden Reed did.
Yeah, he did. He had a whole meeting with the front office. And look, I know Matthew Golden's a first-round pick. I know they want, big things from him going forward. Jaden Reed is the type of guy that I want in fantasy. I want in best ball, I would say. I don't want Jaden Reed on my, home league team.
Yeah.
But he is the best ball of best ball picks. When he's on the field and when he puts up, he is going to hit your lineup. He's going to hit it hard constantly. I'm not sure Matthew Golden's going to be doing anything like that at a consistent clip. You could say that Jaden Reed didn't do it at a consistent clip last year, and I understand. But the pure upside of Jaden Reed, from tournament perspective, from drafters perspective, he's now usually probably your fifth wide receiver, your fourth or fifth wide receiver. You're not counting on him to hit your lineup quite as frequently as some of your top picks. But when he does hit it, he usually hits it very, very hard. I was trying to balance the two of them, and then I started laughing, and then I just started taking Jaden Reed a ton.
Yeah, it's so funny. South says Reed looked like a smash in week one last year. I have week one brain, he says, in a different way. But it is so interesting. But the week one game is oddly enough a reason to continue to buy Jaden Reed, where, to Rob's point, when they use this guy, when they're pushed, right, which is part of the, like you said, you mentioned Jordan Love, injury issues, which is definitely part of it, but also the fact that they have and they might still have a very good defense, and they might still build the offense around the running game. But if they just so happen to get pushed a little bit more this year, that's when Jaden Reed can really pop up for a bunch of big games. And that's what happened in that week one game. If you're not familiar, just go to the Google machine and check out the Jaden Reed week one last year. We all thought we just won $2 million with our Jaden Reed teams after week one last year. But I remember sitting, the wife and I went to, we're at dinner watching that week one game. And she's like, oh, are you talking to your internet friends? Because I was in the Discord being like, so I'm only looking at my Jaden Reed teams for the rest of the year because none of these other teams matter, because holy shit, the Packers offense is built around this guy. He's a big play threat who also I think you can do more with. Now, he's a little bit more limited than the average wide receiver one, if you will. That's why the wide receiver one thing is very, very silly. And I think that's the Matthew Golden bull case, is we just don't know. And so what if Matthew Golden is more of a guy you can actually build an offense around as a wide receiver one? My problem is Matthew Golden as a prospect was never that. He was never a guy in college that you could build an offense around. So why would I suspect that he is a guy that the Green Bay Packers are going to do the exact same thing. And so I'm drafting both. Same thing as basically all of these questions. I'm drafting both of these guys. But you have to give me one. One on one team. I think Matthew Golden has this like ceiling of like the total unknown rookie thing that does like, get me excited. And I think that that's a fair enough case. But if, you put your gun to my head with the prospect profile that he has, I'm taking what I know is Jayden Reed, even if like Jayden Reed can never be a second round pick and maybe Matthew Golden could, but like I know what I'm getting with Jayden Reed, and it's probably several big games, and that's enough with upside on top of that too.
Do you think there's a chance they still move Dobbs this season?
Yeah,
because like that's still lingering in the back of my head that they still might move him.
Mm-hmm. They drafted two because they also drafted Savion Williams. In the third round from TCU. Now he is the most non-wide receiver a team has ever drafted in the NFL. He literally played running back at TCU last year, but like Wicks had the most targets on the team last year, and they drafted Savion and Matthew Golden. Christian Watson's out. Christian Watson's out for the year, so that's part of why they drafted the wide receivers. But they also have Kraft and Musgrave still. If Dobbs is like turning around, Dobbs is like John Travolta looking around the room like, oh shit, I'm the only guy left, and they keep drafting all these other guys, right? And it's not going very well for me. And he's already been a little vocal about wanting out. I think I think it's unlikely, but reasonable, like possible.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're gonna go into camp and we're not going to hear about it, and they're just like, we got to get this dude out of here. It feels like something that might occur within the organization.
What if Wicks catches the ball at camp, or like Savion like looks a lot better than they expect at camp, and they're like, they call up the 49ers and they're like, Ayuk has one knee and Juwan is asking to be traded.
Yeah.
They're like, would you like someone that's not DeMarcus Robinson to run routes on your team? Like, the Steelers are starting Calvin Austin at wide receiver. Like, there's a bunch of teams who could use, like, Romeo Dobbs is not special, but he's an NFL wide receiver. Like, there's teams that could use that guy. I don't think it's unreasonable.
Yeah, I think it might happen.
It'll be interesting. I don't know the order of these slides, by the way, so I'm finding out the same. I put these together and I don't remember what we did here. Oh, I love this one. I don't know what your take is on this one. Audio listeners, two 90s sitcom, I guess what we call it, 90s sitcoms. But these are two shows that I watched every episode of growing up. That's why I put them on here. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Saved by the Bell. This or that. What are you choosing?
So I'm going to start by saying that maybe I'm the only one that has this take. I also watched probably every episode of both of these shows when I was younger. Not rewatchable. I've tried to watch episodes now. I can't do it.
I agree with you.
I just can't do it. I agree with you.
I tried.
It's a laugh track thing.
During the pandemic, I tried, and it's painful. It's
tough.
Really painful.
It's tough. I will say Fresh Prince is probably better because even though I can't watch the show, there are still really good moments that weren't even comedy that you can go back to. James Avery, Uncle Phil, was amazing on this show. I mean, the whole cast was really good. I mean, so was Saved by the Bell. I mean, but I think overall, I'm going to edge it out to Fresh Prince.
I think if you asked 10-year-old me or 12-year-old me or whatever, I would have said Saved by the Bell because it felt more, like I was obviously I wasn't the black kid who moved to Bel Air. So it wasn't, I very much enjoyed the show, but Saved by the Bell felt like the, cheesy high school white kid thing.
You're in the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. Like it literally felt like me going to high school every day, right? The stupid pranks that they did and the like actual life lessons that they learned, right, during the shows. It felt like that, especially as I've gotten older. But also, I mean, I loved Fresh Prince, and I felt like the longevity, not longevity like in terms of like us talking about it today, although that is also true. Uh, the show like almost continued to get better. I thought Fresh Prince did, whereas Saved by the Bell's like college
Oh,
years
college
and
years was
like
trash, bro.
like they kept trying to suck money out of the franchise that was Saved by the Bell, whereas Fresh Prince just felt like it just continued on. The story kept going, and it was phenomenal. There's both, and again, we're splitting hairs. I loved both of these shows, but there's both like really emotional moments that I still remember. Like you said, Will and Uncle Phil, embracing, and Will, the why doesn't anyone love me type of a situation. And then like the comedy is the comedy holds up. The moments from the comedy, not the laugh track. I can't believe the laugh track was a thing, and I can't believe there's ever still a show that still does a laugh track in 2025. It's absolutely insane because it ruins everything about the comedy of the show, and so it's not rewatchable to that extent. But I feel like the comedy from Fresh Prince holds up a lot better than Saved by the Bell does.
I think a harder one of these. Actually, we'll see if you do it. I'll just I'll let you keep
I don't
going.
have I don't have another TV show, so go.
I think Family Matters versus Full House would have been a tougher decision than these two.
I didn't like Full House that much. Family Matters slam dunk to the podium
Really?
for me. Yeah,
See, I think they were both really good. I think that's a tough
I
one.
loved Family Matters. I loved Family Matters. I don't know why. I still don't know why to this day, but I loved Family Matters. Full House was just like, I don't know. The Olsen twins and stuff was not that entertaining to me. Bob Saget.
None of the kids were. There was no like boy character to connect with when we were younger. Is probably what it was.
And the girls were not, old enough for me to like have a crush on or whatever. Like, what about Boy Meets World? What would be a Boy Meets World comp? Were you in the Boy Meets World?
Yeah.
Era?
The answer is just Boy Meets World, probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was going to try to think it.
I was like, what's a comp to Boy Meets World? Like, well, that probably means the answer is Boy Meets World.
like what is it? Smart Guy? Is like Smart Guy?
Probably. Comp? Boy Meets World, Smart Guy. Yeah, I did like Smart Guy, but again, Boy Meets World, like slam dunk for sure.
Are you afraid of the dark or Goosebumps?
Are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of the dark for sure?
Probably correct.
What was the game? Oh my god, the Nickelodeon this or that's are very good. What was the game where they were like the Barracudas versus the Legends of the Hidden Temple? Was there anything to comp to Legends of the Hidden Temple?
What was the sports one that they did? Guts.
Oh shoot!
So you'd have to go between those two.
Oh, buddy, we're cutting deep here. This one hurts me. This hurts worse than like the food questions.
Dorito brings up Double Dare. That's a good one too.
Ooh, Double Dare, Guts, Double Dare, Legends of the Hidden Temple. This, that, or the other. There you go. We're adding and we're cheating and doing a third. This, that, or the other. Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Double Dare. Holy shit! This is the hardest question we've ever done. 5 years, 5 years of Spike Week. This is the hardest question.
I liked Guts, but I think it's third for me.
I think so too. That's the right answer.
I think for me, I think I just always wanted to do the temple run at the end of Legends of the Hidden Temple. Although the obstacle course at the end was always freaking cool on Double Dare. I think it's Legends of the Hidden Temple for me, but I feel like I could be swayed.
It is. I think Legends of the Hidden Temple is the correct answer. It's close. It's definitely close. But just like the fact that I literally just said Barracudas, and like if someone in 20 years came up to me and just said the word Barracudas, that's what I would think of.
Yeah.
And it's so like
was it the blue barracudas?
Yeah, blue barracudas. It just stands out above everything else. Like not that long ago, we went to a Halloween party, and some of our friends dressed up as
I've
people,
looked
as
at
the
it.
teams from the Legends of the Hidden Temple. And so, like, that tells you everything you need to know. I think it's just like, again, all of these are very close. That's one small notch above the rest. So can they bring back trampoline basketball? Seth also mentioned what would be one that you would do. American Gladiators versus this or that. American Gladiators versus. Is there a comp to American Gladiators?
I mean, the one that comes to mind is Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
What?
modern day. I don't think there is one. I don't think there is. I think American Gladiators is just like a.
It's coming back, you know.
I know they're gonna fuck it up. They fucked it up last time they brought it back.
They actually hired a bunch of AEW wrestlers to be part of the Gladiators too.
I'll watch it because it was like, dude, I loved. So I bought the video game. Speaking of, I think that wasn't 64. That was a Super Nintendo. American Gladiators. You had to. It was the most miserable game you ever played in your entire life because it was all button. It was a button mashing game. It was straight button mashing game to go up the whatever you want to call it. It was all button mashing, miserable. But we played that like a motherfucker because we loved American Gladiators. Also, if you have not watched the documentary on American Gladiators, go watch the documentary. It is awesome. Also, chaotic. You cannot believe what happened on that show. All right, I think we got a football.
Do you remember Malibu from that show?
Oh,
he
yes.
was. Did you watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie?
Dude, do you think I didn't watch? We're talking about all these video games. You don't think I watched all the Mortal Kombat dog shit movies that were Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mortal Kombat? Yeah, I watched all those movies.
Yeah, but Malibu was the centaur in that movie.
I know.
I feel like a lot of people don't know that.
I know. Insane.
Which is a
absolutely
wild
insane.
thing.
Absolutely insane.
Drake May versus Justin Herbert is my question.
Yes, this or that to a real football question. Similarly priced players: Drake May, Justin Herbert at quarterback.
This one also isn't close, and the correct answer is Justin Herbert.
God damn it, we're on the same page with too many.
This is my guy this year, dude. Like I know. I still can't believe the Justin Herbert price this year. It's
beautiful.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He proved that even though we thought they were going to run the ball 150 times a game last year, that he could still put up a fantasy relevant season. And I think you want to talk about stacking. I think he's the easiest quarterback in best ball to stack.
Yeah.
No matter how you draft him. You get McConkey early if you want. You can get Trey Harris in the middle of the draft if you want. And you can get QJ if you want. Mike Williams just went on IR, which, like, who's surprised about that? Yeah. Right? Like, I mean, what are we doing here?
We just had a Mike Williams conversation in the Discord today. And then, like, it was a brief, 10-minute conversation because we're bored because what the fuck else are we talking about when training camp isn't going on? And we had a very brief Mike Williams conversation. And then 6 hours later, Mike Williams goes on the pup list. And you're just like, yep, that tracks. That sounds about right. Like, how is Mike Williams on the pup list? They haven't been doing anything for the last, what is Mike Williams doing exactly to be physically unable to perform?
Yeah.
It's like, well, Mike Williams. Being Mike Williams. Exactly.
And I disagree with cases on the chat that says May has the higher upside. I just don't inherently agree with that.
Justin Herbert has been the quarterback too in fantasy. I'm not saying that I'm very excited for Drake May. Again, the whole point of this exercise is these guys are close. Justin Herbert is like, if Drake May becomes as good as Justin Herbert is, that's probably a win, right? For Drake May's career. And so, like, we just know Justin Herbert is better right now. And maybe Drake May does become better. But I know what I'm getting. and I know his weapons are better. Like I know it for a fact that his weapons are better. I know for a fact his coaching is better, and so it's kind of crazy the price that we get on Justin Herbert. That's kind of why I cheated, because I knew my answer was Justin Herbert, and I figured yours was too. But I wanted to be like, it's kind of silly that we can get Justin Herbert at this price. It's kind of silly.
I think it's insane. And going to the weapons thing, QJ or any of the Patriots wide receivers?
QJ. And I hate QJ. You and I have argued about QJ when you were pro and I was con. And QJ versus Keyshawn Boutte. What are we fucking talking about, dude? Kyle Williams, whatever. He's a rookie, so we can tell ourselves a story about. It's like the Matthew Golden thing. You can always dream and say, it could be anything, even a vote with a rookie. But it's like, it's Kyle Williams guaranteed to be better than Quentin Johnson? No, like not at all. It's like I know what I'm getting. I just know what I'm getting with the whole Chargers thing, and it's a good thing. Like it's not like Saints. I know what I'm getting. I know I'm getting a pile of dog shit with the Saints, right? I know I'm getting good, and I know Justin Herbert is good. So like, doesn't that just feel like just take it and run?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's easy. And as Hacker brings up, stacking him with Amari and Hampton is good too. Like I agree. Everything you can do with Herbert is fun.
I agree. Don't stack him with Najee. Close. He only has one eye. But good for Halloween. Stack them together on Halloween if they play. That'll be good.
If they played the Bucks in Week 17, I would say to stack them together.
Holy shit, that would be amazing! I can't believe the best ball gods didn't give us that one. Najee showing up to Week 17 with a patch over one eye would be incredible. Rookie tight ends, both first-round picks, Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren. This or that for fantasy this year, Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren.
If I pick Tyler Warren, does he get both R's in his last name?
We're on the pirate section of the show.
So I weirdly
misspelled his name, and Dorito says the picture should lower his. I agree.
I've weirdly been thinking about this one in some context over the past week or so. And I think one of my big mistakes through July 14th of this best ball season is not drafting enough Tyler Warren. And I think I need to rectify that heavily. So I'm Tyler Warren over Loveland. And I mean, it can still be close. You can play this however you want. I know there's some like injury concerns with Loveland as well. But I think that we know enough about Indy this year for what they're doing. We know Daniel Jones is probably going to be the quarterback the majority of the year. We know that they drafted Tyler Warren very, very early in the draft, first round. We know that they're trying to consolidate having 17 tight ends on the roster into one. But I think that our brains still go to what the franchise has been rather than what they're going to be. And I think that is something that is, I don't even think like I was thinking about it. I just think I wasn't clicking the button. You know what I mean? Like it just would slide by and I wasn't. And I think he has the sense of being a major win. And I'm kind of mad at myself for I'm not saying that I needed to be heavily overweight him, but I think I'm underweight and I think I need to rectify it quite a bit.
Totally agree. This one's really not close for me either, even though I misspelled Tyler Warren's name and his picture does look very, very doesn't bring out the warm and fuzzies. But Tyler Warren was better last year in college than Colston Loveland. Tyler Warren is in a situation that is better for him to earn targets. I have heard, and I'm sure some people will disagree with the premise that this situation is good for him to earn targets. Like, oh, the Colts have good air quotes target competition, and I just simply don't agree. Josh Downs is fine. Alec Pierce serves a role. Alec Pierce serves an MVS, like the Kmart version of Deshaun Jackson. Like he's a field stretcher. He's not taking targets away from Tyler Warren. Michael Pittman, if he can't earn targets over Michael Pittman, it was never fucking going to happen anyway. Whereas Colston Love, DJ Moore is better than every player on or at least was. So let's say the ceiling of Josh Downs is the same as DJ Moore. Okay, that's fine. Rome Odunze was a better prospect than Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman, frankly, and you have Luther Burden. And so I just don't see how the target competition is a real problem for Tyler Warren. If you get get a little sliver of the bullshit gimmicky quarterback / goal line carry stuff that he got at Penn State, I'm not expecting that. But he was a true target dominator at Penn State. And I had the same feeling that you did, where I was like, oh, the price feels a little rich, right? It's the Colts. I'm not in love with this. And like, he's fine. I wasn't like in love with him as a prospect. And just like, as the summer has gone on, he's cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And it's like, I don't know, man, I can get like Tyler Warren tight end 1 at pick 120 is a, top, like a first round pick at tight end. It's like, are we going to do this again? Like, are we really going to just like keep discounting these rookie tight ends? That does apply to Loveland too, but he's injured. I'm a little concerned about what his camp is going to look like. So just give me Warren in this one. I think the upside is pretty significantly higher than Colston Loveland. So
I mean, and Komet's still there. I know like some people aren't worried about that, but it's still a thing.
He can be the Dawson Knox. He can be the total Dawson Knox thorn in the side of Dalton Kincaid. Yep.
So I just think that Warren's path is so easy.
I think you also mentioned this, and I should have just like reiterated it because I agree with what you said, that like the Colts using multiple tight ends in the past is not an indication about Tyler Warren. Like that logic doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's like they drafted him in the first round because all those other guys sucked ass. They used 3 of them every week because they were bad. And they all, right? Mo Alley Cox is a blocker. And Kylan Granson is a fucking nothing. And whatever, who's the idiot from Virginia we've been trying to draft for years as the receiver?
That tells you everything you need to know that we can't remember.
Exactly. We keep drafting him. And now obviously he's banished to the shadow realm. Anyway, the big athletic dude from Virginia that is a tight end for the Colts. They're using all of these guys because none of them are good enough. They don't want to take their tight ends off the field all the time. And they showed us that by drafting Tyler Warren in the first round, right? You don't spend your first round pick on a guy you're like, come out and play 30% of the snaps, brother. We can't wait to see what Kylan Granson has to do next to you. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. So I think he has a like very serious path to being just a dominant Jelani Woods. Yeah. As Self says. It's like we've been trying to make these guys a thing with the Colts, and now they actually did it, and we're using those guys against him. And I think that's wrong.
That's the thing that we do in best ball all the time, though.
All the time.
Where we don't, I mean, like a good offensive coordinator, head coach is going to always facilitate the offense through their best players. And that's what they were doing then. It doesn't mean that that's the way they wanted to play football, but it's the way they had to play football. And it doesn't mean that that's the way they're always going to play football, right? Like you get Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez on the same team, you find a way to make both of them prominent in the offense.
Exactly.
Right. And it's not traditional, but there was 2 tight ends there. You get a really good tight end, you make him a prominent feature of the offense. It's just, that's what they want to do with Tyler Warren. If he's that, then they will, but they're going to at least give it a chance through the preseason into the season. They're going to give him that opportunity.
One of the greatest myths of football, it's certainly in our world, it's mostly related to fantasy football, but the greatest myth is the idea that football coaches who are playing for their jobs, they need to win games in order to continue to be employed and make millions and millions of dollars. They're incentivized to win. The idea that that person is going to actively play worse players over their not just over better players, over the best players, right? That's like taking Randy Moss off the field to put your 5th wide receiver in the game. It's like, they're not going to do that. they're trying to win. Like the idea that what this coach does is he runs a 3 tight end rotation. So he's not going to play his best. No, sir. This coach plays to win. He's going to do what is best to win football games. So what might be best to win football games for the Philadelphia Eagles this year is to play more Will Shipley. Said no one ever. But Will Shipley, Tyler Algier, the 2 handcuffs to the top 2 running backs being drafted this year, right? Saquon Barkley and Bijan Robinson are the top 2 running backs drafted this year. If you had to choose one handcuff to one of those 2 guys, this or that, Will Shipley versus Tyler Algier.
So this is really tough because in this
don't look at the pictures. This is a great
audio.
This is a great audio version.
In this photo of Will Shipley, it looks like somebody was casting the new Scooby-Doo movie and they had a budget of $47. And this is the best Shaggy that they
He looks like Jeremy Renner in what's the movie that Missoula watches before every the crime or the town. He looks like Jeremy Renner in the town right before he takes a sip of the soda before he commits suicide by cop. That's what Will Shipley looks like.
And Tyler Algier looks like this is the first time he's ever smiled. Just figuring it out right now. So,
this is why they're backups. So
this is a tough one. If I had to pick one of these 2 between Will Shipley and Tyler Algier, I'll make the slightly more controversial pick, I guess. It's Tyler Algier. It's very close. It's really probably my build, dependent on my build as well. But I'll slightly edge out for Tyler Algier because I know he's the number 2. And although I'm 95% sure Will Shipley's the number 2 on the Eagles, there's still a 5% chance that he's not, because we've seen stranger things happen after July 14th of the year. But we know who Tyler Algier is. We know what he is. We know what he's capable of. I really like Will Shipley. I have a lot of him as well, just like most people. But if I had to pick one to consolidate my ownership for, it's probably Tyler Algier.
I understand everything that you just said and everything that the chat is saying. Also, shout out Big Draft Energy saying, of course I tune in, and Spike Week has a close-up of Will Shipley. That it's ironic timing. I'm choosing Will Shipley because it would be totally disingenuous if I didn't. I chose this photo because I thought it was absolutely fucking hilarious that this is his professional picture on the team. I cannot believe
put the shoulder pads on. Put the shoulder pads on. Do something.
I cannot believe I have 50% of this fucking dude. When I saw the picture, that's really the only reason I wanted to talk about it. Everyone knows I love Will Shipley. I love both of these guys. These are my 2 highest owned running backs. So I'm not really gonna belabor it anymore. But I wanted to show you guys the picture of Will Shipley, so you know that when he scores fantasy points, that anything is possible. Like Kevin Garnett said, because holy shit, that dude is an NFL running back. Here's another one: the Minnesota Vikings backfield. Who are you choosing in the for a Minnesota Vikings running back? Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason? This or that?
So the answer is Jordan Mason. However, I'm coming around to getting some Aaron Jones now.
God damn it. We're the same. We have way too many of the same answers, but I agree 100%.
Like I'm not going. I think Jordan Mason is the correct answer here. I think he's too expensive. I don't think he's too expensive. I think this is like one of the biggest cases that some drafters have gotten too sharp and put his price to where it should be. Jordan Mason 2 years ago, we would have been getting round 15, 16 easily.
Yep.
I would say probably. Just name value on Aaron Jones alone would have caused people to be too scared to click the backup in Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
And so I think the answer is Jordan Mason, but I think I want both, and I think I occasionally want to double tap them.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good take. It's Jordan Mason, but yeah, this feels like the we think we've gotten so sharp that we spotted the correct back in the backfield, and then we look back and like week 1, Jordan Mason touches the ball 5 times.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. And we're like, oh, he did get the goal line carry, but congrats.
Yeah.
Sick job. You got the 30% back at the same price as the 70% back, just because you got 1 goal line carry that Aaron Jones didn't get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I do still believe the answer is Jordan Mason, but I've started to come around to the fact that now the market agrees. I think he was like the best buy, outside of Shipley or whatever, but like the best buy at running back in that tier when drafts opened. But now like everyone agrees, and I think he's like, I don't think the price is wrong. I think it's like pretty efficient now, and so I'm not like going out of my way to get Jordan Mason anymore, and I might go out of my way a little bit to get Aaron Jones now.
Yeah, we also have I know it's his second year, but for all intents and purposes, we have a rookie quarterback with JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Who they are going to try to they're going to try to protect as much as they possibly can, which means that I think that a good safety valve for him is going to be Aaron Jones out of the backfield. So the amount of catches, I think he might have a couple games where he just catches a ton of footballs.
Yeah.
Based on that. And
agreed.
That is something that I want with Aaron Jones.
Good DraftKings drafters, full PPR, like way to hedge your bets a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
With those guys. We talked a little bit about this on a recent Best Ball Basement show, but I would be remiss if we didn't do this or that with the GOATs of basketball. And I could not help myself but use this particular photo of LeBron James because it's like one of my favorite sports photos ever. If you're listening to this on the audio version, please go look at we're about at the 1:57 mark, hour 57. It's hilarious. And I just have to ask you, this or that, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Okay, so my preface for this is I'm not a hater. Like, I'm not like one of the guys that's like, I love this guy. So
you're a LeBron hater. You're about to say you're a LeBron hater.
I love LeBron James. He is the last superstar that is older than me. And I had the first LeBron sneakers. I loved LeBron. I followed him. I rooted for him everywhere he played until he went to the Lakers. That's just the boundary that I will not cross. Probably can't root for him on the Knicks or the Lakers, but I rooted for him to win championships.
Just quickly, is there any other team you wouldn't root for him on? Knicks, Lakers, that makes sense.
I have another team that I hate, but I have no reason to hate them other than I just hate them, and that's the Utah Jazz.
Okay,
I've just always hated the Utah. I've always hated the Jazz.
No one likes. Everyone hates the Jazz. It's okay.
So, maybe the Jazz. This boils down to one thing for me, and you can call me dumb for this. The answer is Michael Jordan, and it's because Michael Jordan would not have lost to that Dallas Mavericks team.
Ooh. Now that's not what I thought you were going to say.
That's why, because Michael Jordan would not have lost that series. I'm not saying Michael Jordan would win every series that he ever played. I know he was undefeated in the finals. I don't hold that against LeBron. I think that's one of the dumbest arguments in sports ever.
Mm-hmm.
But that particular series, the Heat should not have lost that series at all.
No.
And the fact that they lost that series, I think, is what will always give Jordan the leg up. Like, LeBron carried a team that Jordan could have never carried to the finals, which was that Cavs team.
Correct.
That first finals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give him that. But Jordan would not have lost that Dallas Mavericks finals. He would not have lost that Dallas Mavericks finals.
I could not possibly agree more with that take. You mean he wasn't going to lose to JJ Barea in the finals? Like, get the fuck, like the Dirk, like old Dirk, like not like that was like sort of peak Dirk, but like not even really peak Dirk. And they lost to, that was, so if you followed this year's NBA Finals, right? It was it's so fucked up that Halliburton tore his Achilles. To start off that game. The biggest upset in the history of the NBA Finals was that Mavericks Heat series. This year would have trumped that if Halliburton would have stayed healthy and if they would have won, if the Pacers would have won in Game 7 against the Thunder. And so that led me to the same kind of path that you were talking about. I was like, I love LeBron, and I've listened to I listened to lots of NBA content, and God damn it, I forget who said this, and it was on the recent Zach Lowe show. That one of the guests mentioned it, and they said it in the perfect way that I've never been able to quite grasp how I feel about it, because I think I mentioned it to you when we did the like jersey number show, that I was like, Jordan is the most iconic 23, but I think LeBron is the best like basketball player, or what, like however, like I couldn't quite put it into words. And what they said was, Jordan is the best basketball player ever. LeBron has had the best career ever. And I thought that was a pretty good way to put it, because exactly what you just said, Jordan is the best basketball player ever. He would never fucking lose to JJ Barea. Like he ain't losing to aging Dirk in the finals with all those dudes with him, with a bunch of Hall of Famers surrounding. No fucking chance, dude, is MJ losing in that series. Now, like you said, MJ's had other flaws, but that's why he's the best ever. But LeBron's at the best, dude. LeBron's pulling, like, if Julio Franco was fucking winning MVPs at the end of his career. Like, this dude is in his 40s making all NBA teams. Yeah. And but him, I know he got Luka like partway through the year, and he had AD before, but he's like carrying teams to like top 4 seeds in like the most loaded Western Conference we've ever seen in his 40s. The difference is, like you said, LeBron or Jordan would never do that. Like some of the failures that LeBron had, but Jordan could never, ever do. Look what Jordan was with the Wizards. It was like a fucking circus act. It was like, this is cool. We're going to let MJ be MJ, go score 20 on a shit team. But like, this is not serious. LeBron is carrying teams to the 3rd seed in the West at 40 years. Like, What the fuck are we talking about, man? That's insane. So that's kind of how I think about it. I think MJ is the best player ever. I think LeBron has had the best basketball career ever. Probably the best sporting career ever.
Yeah, and this is going to end up becoming the same thing when Mahomes' career is done. And I think Mahomes does have a chance of passing Brady. He hasn't done it at this moment in time. But what people are going to do, obviously, there's part of the era that, like, who did you grow up with, right? And then the other thing is guys like Jordan and guys like Brady, they have, and I think Kobe kind of fits into this as well. There's something about players like that there's some stuff that you just can't measure. For Brady, it's obviously the competitiveness too, but I think he was just the smartest quarterback that's ever played the game. Like, he could just see the field in a way that no one else saw it, and just knew what defenses were doing. And you just can't measure that. That's not a stat on a sheet. And I think that just the overall competitiveness of Jordan, like that killer instinct, the only person that with his skill set, like up in like that elite superstar talent that has had that is Kobe as well. If Jordan had that, if LeBron had that, it's a wrap, right? I'm not saying that he's not competitive. I think LeBron is extremely competitive. I think he wants to win. There's a different level though. And I think that Jordan has this immeasurable level of just competitiveness that makes you probably a bad person overall. But when you're playing a sport, or like, this is why CEOs are the way they are. They're just these ruthless, like, take no prisoners type thing. And when you have that, it can lead you to a lot of success in that individual sector. But that's why he wouldn't have lost that Dallas series, right? Like he just would not have lost that Dallas series. Now he could lose series. He could have lost finals. He didn't make it to the playoffs. I mean, to the finals until his 7th or 8th season. He was playing in a loaded NBA at the time. But there are certain series that certain games that people will not lose, and certain games that they shouldn't win that they will overcome and win. So Brady has that. I think all of the Brady losses in Super Bowls, I hate to say it, are fine. Just like the one that hurts is obviously the 07 one.
Yep.
Like, I think they're all understandable. I think he won some that he shouldn't have won. I mean, clearly. And I think Jordan just wouldn't lose ones that he shouldn't lose.
Well, Brady never should have beat the Rams. So, and I don't think I'm very, very biased in that fact, but I don't think that's a hot take.
That's the main one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know probably people go to the Atlanta one, which they shouldn't have won that one after halftime, but
no, of course,
the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, but it wasn't going into the game. No one thought that they should have won.
Yeah.
Should have won that game. Just a couple quick comments. Straight us this: would Jordan have beaten the 73-9 Warriors team though? If he had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, maybe. It's a good one though. That's a feather in LeBron's cap, like big time. Like that series, dude. That series, holy fuck, man! Like that series is unreal. However, that the whole Warriors run, which is crazy. I don't mean just this series, but how crazy the Warriors run is and how legendary that team was. This is the Steph era, because the shit that they've dealt with, like in the same series, Durant and Clay, right? Injuries. Draymond in playoff series has gotten suspended, and it's like, which I believe was that one, right? With the 73-9 year was the year that Draymond got is that the year? No, was that? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But like they've gone through so much turmoil with a lot of it with Draymond, but also with injuries, that the Warriors going on that run was still insane, despite the fact that the 7-3-9 Warriors were probably the best basketball team of all time, which is like I said, a huge feather in the cap of it was in game 4 was when Draymond got suspended for the nut shot, one of many nut shots that Draymond has done in his career. But still, I mean, incredible feat by LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. But I just think I will go to my grave, I think, with the take that Jordan at his peak was like nothing we'll probably ever see. And you mentioned it, that like the intangible shit is like maybe silly to talk about, but he would go out. They talk about this. Charles talks about this. The non-basketball players, like he used to golf with like Jeremy Roenick and shit like that. And they would be like, we'd go out and they'd be like, I don't really feel like gambling today. And he'd be like, $10 instead of like 10 grand a hole. He'd be like $10 a hole. Like, cause I just need to take your money.
Yeah.
Cause like, that's like we have to play for something. Like, now that's a little bit of gambling degeneracy too, but like, he just wanted to kill. Like, it was out there. His whole thing was he was going to beat you in some form or fashion. And so, I love LeBron, and I agree. Whoever said it was TD says, I think LeBron is the better person, but that's part of what made LeBron maybe a little bit of a different basketball player than what we saw with Jordan. So.
Jordan also, I think it gets forgotten a lot how great of a defender he was too.
Yeah, in his prime, and LeBron was too. But LeBron
was too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. MJ, people think about the scoring stuff, and it was like, oh no, he was first team all defense. Also, by the way, like he would guard
a few times. Too.
Yeah, he would guard the other team's best player. Also, no big deal.
He would just pick him. He would just be like, I'm taking whoever.
The best story from The Last Dance is when what was the Wizards guy that came in and cooked him that's when they played back to back, and they're playing back to backs now again, but they played back to backs, and I forget whatever the Wizards rookie or whatever it was that came in and gave him like 35 or whatever, and MJ came back the next night, and was like it wasn't the "and I took that personally" quote. It wasn't about that kid, but like it felt like that. It was like, and I took that personally, and it's like the Wizards fucking sucked. Like he had no reason. Like this was the 72 win Bulls. He had absolutely no reason to give a shit about this kid, getting off. And he came back and he was like, "My entire life's mission is to fucking
to ruin this kid.
To ruin your life." Like he just wanted to ruin this kid's life. So he gave the kid 50, and the kid scored 2 or whatever the next night. And it's just like that's MJ. Like LeBron would never do that. And that's why LeBron is a good person and MJ is a bad person. But like they're very different. Like the two GOATs being so different, I think, is what makes the conversation like annoying, but also very fun.
It's also why LeBron's able to have a longer career, because he doesn't have that arrogance about him, I guess, that just having to be the best at all times. Like once Jordan's not Jordan, he has to step away, right? Like you have to,
right?
You get the Wizards thing, like
exactly, because you've made yourself, your whole thing is being that like crazy competitor that dominates everybody, and once you physically can't do that anymore, which LeBron can't do that anymore either, but he can be more of a chameleon because of the way that he's kind of like set his career up and the way he plays the game, as opposed to the way that MJ played it.
Right.
Who was LeBron's Dennis Rodman? Love.
Bosch.
Kevin Love. Love, Bosch. Not J.R. Smith and not Delonte West. Shout out Delonte West. I hope he's doing all right.
God.
But
who was it on the original Cavs? Who was the
Mo Williams and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Casino's on the Rockets. The original OG Cavs was him, Mo Williams, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Larry Hughes.
Larry Hughes is who I'm thinking of, I think.
Shout out to St. Louis. Got to get a St. Louis reference in before the night is over. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Delonte West was on that until he banged LeBron's mom. That was like the beginning of the end of Delonte West. What is Jesus? Somber moment.
Booby Gibson, I think, is who I'm actually thinking.
Booby Gibson. Booby Gibson. That's it. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Nice pull, Dorito.
Tristan Thompson still kicking around, by the way, in the league. Also.
No, he's not. Is he?
Yes, on the Cavs. Back on the Cavs. Last couple of years. Yep, he's like he's doing the like Kardashian version of Udonis Haslem with the Cavs.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Matthew Dellavedova. Yeah, Matthew Dellavedova. That's a good shout.
Oh my god, I hated playing.
Dude, that is
UK with Dellavedova.
Dude, MJ, I love MJ so much, but like that, those early cap, like you mentioned, the dragging teams to the finals. Like, I don't think the modern fan, like younger generations, understands truly how bad the surrounding cast was around early, like first Cavs run. LeBron, not second Cavs. So if anyone's, I know that you guys listen to this know, but just for reference, LeBron, right, gets drafted by the Cavs. They're horrible. Carries the team to a just incredible success, but never wins a final. Goes to Miami, right? I'm taking my talents to South Beach, which was also part of the reason why people hate him, because that was just literally changed the way you say the sentence and no one would give a fuck, but he said it like an arrogant douchebag. Goes to Miami, wins, whatever. Also loses, but then wins. Comes back to Cleveland, and now they have Kyrie Irving. Oh, yay. I have a number 1 overall pick. So now I'm cool to come back to the Cavs because they have Kyrie Irving, right? So it's like it's like MJ never did that either, which ruins LeBron perception to a lot, which I think is fine. I think that's totally fine. I don't totally agree, but I think it's a reasonable thing to say. Like, he dipped out and then went and won a title elsewhere, and then came back once they had good players.
Yeah. I mean, again, though, he dragged the Cavs the first finals that he made it to, and we all knew that the Spurs were going to smoke that team.
Yeah.
LeBron could have been a basketball god. They weren't beating that Spurs team,
and he was, honestly, he was.
So like, if you're playing devil's advocate, I think that's the devil's advocate against my Dallas point. But I think there's a difference between dragging a team to the finals and then losing a finals that you should have. And I know Dirk was great. I'm not saying Dirk wasn't great, but Jesus, man, that team should not have lost to that Dallas team. It just shouldn't have happened.
MJ just would have guarded Dirk and been like,
yeah,
shoot over me, motherfucker. I'm going to make your life a living hell.
I couldn't believe LeBron didn't.
I know.
Like, so.
It's okay. I love LeBron. Like, LeBron is my favorite basketball. Excuse me. Penny Hardaway is my favorite basketball player of all time. LeBron is like my generation. Like, I will go to bat for LeBron forever. But it's also okay to criticize. Like, it's okay to criticize the chinks in the armor, which do exist. So they exist for MJ too. Like, did you watch the Wizards? Like, holy fuck, man! Like, just retire, brother. That was it. That wasn't it. That was not the way to go out. I went to a Wizards Jordan game and it was a disaster. Like, I was like, I'm not like, someone said Jordan plays for this team. I'm like, where is he? Cause that ain't him. Like, I'm like, I went to one live Bulls Jordan game when I was a kid. It was awesome. And then I went to one live Jordan Wizards game and I was like, that ain't him. That ain't that guy. What does Reggie call him? I forget whatever Reggie called him. I'm like that ain't the black cat or whatever. I'm like, that's not that's not him. That's not MJ over there. That's out there. And like, LeBron's never reached that point where we've ever been like, oh, that's not LeBron. It's time to hang him up. Holy fuck. Did he just chase down block somebody at 42 years old? You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, the one good thing that came out of the Jordan Wizards era was that we did get Mariah Carey and the Jordan Wizards dress for the NBA All-Star game.
That is true.
So
there's always a
memory.
Yeah, there's always something positive in even the darkest moments. Mariah Carey will bring out a very positive thing. Just like Christmas. Mariah Carey is here to save Christmas every single year with wonderful Christmas music, as we are here to save clearly your Monday nights. Thank you for hanging out with us. Of course, I'm being silly, and hopefully you guys enjoy these Monday night shows, because frankly, they're a little bit for Rob and I to just shoot the shit and talk about these things. But we try to incorporate a little bit of the fantasy football aspect as well as a little bit of fun. Because you guys get to watch a lot of drafts, and you guys get to watch a lot of the same fantasy football content. We're going to keep rolling this out here on the Best Ball Basement on Monday nights. I will be back Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for another draft stream with you guys. Of course, check out Rob's draft from yesterday, Sunday morning, and hit like and subscribe on your way out. We would appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next Monday for some more fun here in the Best Ball Basement. Peace.
Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there, you can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.